Well, it seems that Marjorie Taylor Greene's Senate run is dead before it even began. Is dead before it was even born. There we go. Is over before it began. And we've been following this because it really seems she was sending out fundraising emails. Should I run for Senate? Like, would that be crazy? And she was posting about it, was being asked about it. And obviously, her in the Senate would be an utter nightmare. But to those really wanting Democrats to get control of the Senate, Jon Ossoff's run there, the incumbent senator, the Democrat, is going to be really important. And polling showed that it looked like if Marjorie was the candidate, which she could definitely become the candidate in the primary, that would help out Ossoff. But it looks like either polling or Trump himself reportedly going, I don't know about this whole Marjorie run idea, caused her to publicly announce she's not. But what you have to hear is her explanation for why she's not running. So we'll get to that. It's a bizarre post that I want to walk through piece by piece. It's really long. But first, she was, on TV, toying with it, kind of keeping her options open like this.
Are you the one best suited to take on Jon Ossoff, the current senator of the Democrat?
Well, first, we all in Georgia thank Governor Kemp. He's been a great governor, and he's still our governor. And we wish him well in any future endeavor that he and his family decides to pursue. And I'm very grateful for the support I have in Georgia. The polling shows I can win the governor's primary, or I can win the Senate primary.
So what are you going to do?
I can also continue to represent my district.
So what are you going to do?
That's a choice that I can make, and I'll give it some thought.
So first, as we go through this, as always, if you're not yet subscribed, millions of people watch the show per week who aren't subscribed. Please do make sure you click that. It's free, it's easy. I can tell you that no politician ever in the history of politicians knew they could win a higher office and didn't run for it, okay? No one ever goes, I would definitely win, but I'm going to stay in my current seat. People, they just don't do that. Something about being a politician, you got to get to that higher seat, okay? Which is why it's so funny what her explanation of this really long X post was. It's sort of, I would have won, but the swamp would be bad, so if I won, I wouldn't be able to really do good. Very confusing, we'll get to it. But I think this is what pushed her over the edge to decide not to run. Trump worried Marjorie Taylor Greene would lose Senate race. I mean, humiliating. That's her supposed bestie. This is who she got into politics for. And he's going, Marge, I know a lot about toxic, but you're too toxic. President Donald Trump may appreciate the fact that Marjorie Taylor Greene is one of his most loyal supporters in Congress, but he reportedly doesn't love her chances in a potential showdown with incumbent Senator Jon Ossoff. I love you, Marjorie, but no one else does. According to Axios, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp is not going to pursue that. And in both the White House and Governor's Mansion, there's concern with polling that shows firebrand. I hate when people describe that. She's just a firebrand. She's just spunky. She's just different. She's loud. No, that's not really the problem. Her being a complete liar and anti-democratic is what's bad. But firebrand, Marjorie Taylor Greene would win a Republican primary but lose to Ossoff. One poll conducted by a Republican group shows her getting smoked, said one person who had reviewed the numbers. Thank you so much for all of my... I don't know why I'm doing Marjorie's voice and the Trump voice. Thank you so much for my support in Georgia. A little country Trump. The president loves MTG, doesn't love her chances in general. That must have been a dagger to the heart for Marjorie. But let's get to this post now. So now she's decided she's not going to run. And she writes out a long essay, proud, where she explains her reasoning. Now, reasoning is not a great thing to call it because there's very little reason going on here. But my thoughts is the title on the 2026 Senate race. I love my home state of Georgia so much, she says. The people here may not be rich with the world's riches, but they are overflowing with kindness, love, family values, and a deep sense of joy. I know that different states have different cultures, and if you're representing them, you're going to say they're special. It is funny, though, like when politicians, especially presidential candidates, go, I love Georgia. The people of Georgia are so great. Compared to who? Name a state. Name a state that Georgia's better than. Do it. Tell me which state you don't like the culture of, because you seem to say that in every state. Okay. And whether they're sitting on the front porch or the tailgate of a pickup truck, these are the people who raised me, who I'm lucky enough to call friends, and who hug my neck no matter what corner of the state I'm in. These are the people I fight for. So when I read an Axios article this morning about the ultra-rich Kemp donors gathering this weekend I thought you just said you love Kemp, gathering last weekend at their elite retreat on luxurious Sea Island to anoint their preferred candidate to run against Jon Ossoff, I laughed out loud. Sea Island is not far from Jekyll Island, where another elite retreat formed the Federal Reserve, and look how that turned out. Pretty well. We all know how these elite retreats work. So she goes on to say they pick the Republicans that aren't Trumpy enough, and they like DeSantis, and it's all so terrible. And they scoffed at her whenever she ran for Congress. Good for them, bad for the voters of her district who said, nah, I don't care about it. They don't believe the polls crafted by firms that won't even work with me because of conflicts, which really means they're already working against me. And she still remembers her statistics class. You can manipulate polling outcomes based on cherry picking a small, okay, so the polls are all fake, and that's why they were fake against Kamala, they were fake against Hillary. Every time people cite, those are the same pollsters that told you Kamala was going to win. Does anyone remember the polls before? Do you know why we were at a bar the night before the election? Do you know we had hope, but the polls were... There was reason to believe maybe she could overperform them. She didn't, so she lost because the polls were pretty much right. I'm a poll defender. It's not that they're always right. It's just they do give important insight within a few points. Even the Hillary Clinton polls, within a few points, it was clear if Trump overperformed a few states, which happens in elections, then he could have won. That's what the poll said. 70%, 30%, 30% chance things happen 30% of the time, which means they happen sometimes, which is what happened when Trump won. Polling has become so dishonest, she says. But we haven't even gotten to the logical part. It's hilarious. That's why I laughed at the Axios article, because elections today aren't about choosing leaders who serve the people. They're about money. But here's the thing. The people aren't falling for it anymore. So she's saying the people get it. They love her. They would pick her. But it's all about money. But it's not about money because the people... So far, there's a little bit of confusion there. If the money doesn't decide, the people decide because they aren't buying the BS, which I hope that's true. The money often does decide too much, and I have a problem with that as well. But why can't the people choose you despite the elites going to their retreat? Most elect Republicans propped up by consultants and rich donors. True. I broke through the system because I'm awesome, essentially, is what she's saying. And that's why she's built such a large email list. And she says she's effective, fearless, and relentless. Not because I serve the Republican Party, but I serve the American people, and I despise the Uniparty. So then this is the best part. Beating Jon Ossoff, that would be easy. That'd be easy. He's a silver spoon progressive who's never held a real job or worried about putting a roof over his family's head. False. He was raised in elite private schools. And he's terrible and he's disgusting. He has a daughter, yet he voted against our bill to keep mentally ill biological men out of girls' sports. He'd rather virtue signal the trans cult than protect his own daughter. I was born in other places and I did other things and I worked jobs. I'm so special. I worked a job. That whole thing. When I was young, I worked a job. Good job. Didn't we all? And the greatest job I've ever had, being a mother. I've raised 3 kids and I'll fight for them until my last breath. Now, here's the funny thing about running for Senate. Everyone in politics thinks they know what I'll do. They don't. Yes, I'm competitive. Yes, I love to win. And yes, I know I would win both the primary and the general. I'd enjoy proving the elites wrong every single day, but that's not what motivates me. No. It's not about crushing the establishment again or flipping a seat just to help the Republican Party. It's about the job itself. Can I deliver for the people of Georgia in the Senate? Can I fulfill the promises? Here's the hard truth. The Senate doesn't work. It's designed to obstruct the will of the people and protect the Uniparty's grip on power. Nearly everything requires 60 votes to pass, and even when we have a majority, a pack of Republican senators always votes no on the bills that matter the most. You know who they are. You've watched them sabotage Trump's agenda. So when the 2026 campaign ads start telling you to vote Republican or Democrats will impeach Trump, just know the party still doesn't get it. We didn't win 2024 because we wanted excuses. We won because we demanded results. And she talks and she talks and she talks. And then finally gets to, so no, John Ossoff isn't the real problem. He's just a vote, a pawn. No different than the uniparty Republicans who skip key votes to attend fundraisers and let our agenda fail. Someone once said the Senate is where good ideas go to die. They were right. That's why I'm not running. What? The logic of that broke me, okay? I won't fight for a team, she says, that refuses to win, that protects its weakest players. To the elite retreaters, the consultants, and the establishment, consider this your warning. Oh, it's so good. It's so pitiful. I am announcing that I am not running because the Uniparty wants me to because they hate me and I would win, which means I would be in the Senate, but I couldn't do good things in the Senate because the Uniparty controls everything, including the House. But I'm in the House now, but I can do good things in the House now, even though they control the House now. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to send them a message, Uniparty. This is your warning. I'm not challenging you, so watch out. I know I would win the general, but because I would, I can't. Marjorie. Oh my gosh.
Why are you the way that you are?
I don't know. Georgia is the economic engine of the South. She hypes up Georgia. Great. I love Georgia too. Georgia, every time I've been there, great people, the best people. Great culture, great people, great whatever. What else do they say? Food, great music. I don't know. Great grass, great. I love the scenery. I just love politicians doing that. And Republican decisions are helping them do it. You're turning voters away. You can't dress someone up in cowboy boots and think they'll fool us. Even Trump's endorsement of rallies can't save your approved candidates anymore. Georgians are smarter than that. They've been burned too many times. Soon enough, the booze will flow again at the country clubs in Mar-a-Lago. And I guess the elitists will do what the elitists do. So John Ossoff, you can stop with the fundraising emails and campaign ads claiming I'm your opponent. I'm not running. Start trying to raise money off of one of these other generic Republicans, though I expect your donations will drop. Good luck. I want you to explain to me somewhere in the comments. You can write an email, whatever, what the logic is there. The Uniparty has too much control in the Senate, so let them have this Senate seat. That's what she's saying. They have too much control, and even though she would beat them, she refuses to go and fight for a team that refuses to win, so she's going to let them win. It's just... It's like... I
don't even know.
My brain is... I don't get the argument there, Marjorie. I refuse to go, I don't know, to eat healthier food because by eating it, I'm letting fast food win. What? Like it's mind warping. Just admit it. You saw the polls. You know you'd lose. Even Daddy Trumpy said that you would lose. So you're not running because you're afraid to lose and you have to give up your House seat. You know, even though you act like something, the people are waking up and they get that I should be a senator, which is why the people should shut up and I'm not going to run. You know that even those people, Georgians, whether it's in the back of a pickup truck, fishing in a pond, they know that you can't put on cowboy boots and say that you've cleared out the bowels of a cow. Yeah. They know that you can't just put on a cowboy hat and pretend that you've spread the hind legs of a cow and taken another calf out of it. Georgians see through the BS. The cow manure, they see through it. And that's why they shouldn't get whatever she's saying about them. I don't even get. They don't like you enough. She knows. Even those Georgians, they know. Most of them, enough of them. And that's why she actually shows. Sorry, Marge. I'm sorry. Last time she got mad, last time she saw me speaking ill of her. You remember I was on the damage report and then she went on and was like, I watched the damage report this morning and they were being very mean about me. Yeah. Because I think you're terrible. Sincerely, Luke. Share your thoughts in the comments.